I recently went through something I never thought would happen to me. A breakup. It wasn't just any breakup. It felt like the end of my world. This girl wasn't just someone I loved, she was my everything. She was the one person, apart from my family, who gave me strength when I felt weak, who made me feel like everything would be okay, even when nothing was. I was lost when it came to my future and my career, but with her I was never confused. She was my first love, and in my heart, I wanted her to be my last. But life doesn't always go the way you expect, does it? Sometimes, when you think you've got everything figured out, life throws you off course in the most painful ways. Let me take you back to where it all began. I met her in college, and from the moment we started hanging out, it was like I had found a piece of myself that I didn't even know was missing. In the second year, we became really close friends, and by the time the third year rolled around, I knew there was something more between us. It wasn't just me who felt it. She felt it too, and that's how we started dating. For a whole year, everything felt perfect. But after graduation, things changed. She went off to pursue her master's degree, while I wasn't sure about my path, so I took a year off. I went back to my hometown, hoping that the distance between us wouldn't change anything. At first, it didn't. We kept things going. Video calls, messages, sending each other little gifts, making plans for the future. We even managed to meet up a few times. But over time, the distance started to creep in. I could feel it. We fought more often. Little things that never bothered us before became big problems. I gave her all my time, thinking that it would be enough to keep things together. But in this world, not everyone values time the same way. And slowly, I could see her slipping away. She wasn't happy anymore, and even though I tried to fix it, I couldn't. I don't blame her for what happened. At that point, my career was going nowhere, and I was stuck, unable to move forward. I thought I had at least one thing figured out, my love life, but even that was falling apart. I tried to change. I took additional courses, worked part-time, and started planning for my future. I wanted to make her proud, to show her that I was worthy of her love. But no matter what I did, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was too late. And then one day, everything shattered. She told me she had found someone else. Someone she started hanging out with. Someone she connected with. I still remember the exact moment she said it. My heart stopped, my hands went cold, and my mind went blank. She had been my anchor, and now she was gone. I didn't even know how to react. I couldn't believe it was real. How could she, after everything we'd been through, replace me like that? It felt like a nightmare, but the worst part was I couldn't wake up from it. I kept telling myself, this isn't happening, she'll come back. But deep down I knew the truth. She had moved on, and I was left standing in the wreckage of our relationship, trying to piece together the parts of my life that had fallen apart. I didn't show anyone how much it hurt. I'm a man, and society tells men not to show their pain. But every night, I cried until my eyes were dry. I felt hollow, like a shell of the person I used to be. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, but the pain didn't go away. If anything, it grew worse. I spiraled into depression, feeling like everything I had worked for, all the time and love I had given, had been wasted. Even after she told me about the other guy, we didn't stop talking. We couldn't seem to completely let go of each other. She would still call, and every time she did, I felt a mix of hope and despair. A part of me wanted her back, wanted to believe that we could fix things, but every time we talked, it only made things harder. It was like I was reopening the wound, over and over again. Eventually, I realized that talking to her was only dragging me deeper into my misery. But even knowing that, it wasn't easy to cut her off. After all, she had been a part of my life for 4 years. How do you just forget someone like that? I tried to distract myself. I moved out of my house and focused on preparing for my master's degree. I looked for happiness in small things, but it was never enough. I picked up some bad habits, things I knew weren't good for me, but at that point, I didn't care. I felt completely alone, and no one seemed to understand what I was going through. The weight of the betrayal hung over me, and I couldn't shake it off. Months passed, and while I'm not completely healed, I've come to accept that life doesn't always turn out the way we want. Sometimes, the people we trust the most hurt us in ways we never imagined. But I know now that I have to keep moving forward. It's not going to be easy, but I can't stay stuck in the past forever. Life goes on, whether we like it or not. I'm writing this because I know there are so many people out there going through similar pain. It feels unbearable at times, like the world is crumbling beneath your feet, but I want you to know that you're not alone. Things will get better, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. Heartbreak is a part of life, and while it's one of the hardest things to go through, it can also teach you a lot about yourself. So, if you're going through something similar, just remember this. Take care of yourself first. Don't let someone else define your worth. Life is too short to invest in people who don't see your value. Focus on building yourself up, and one day, everything you want will come to you when the time is right.